Inventor and author of Primal Habits, Uninflamed, Master of You, and Body Thrive, and soon to be released, The Witch's Cancer Journal.
A weaver of words and ancient worlds into the future.
Plumbing for depth in the playground of your continual reinvention.
A wisdom rich, a Guyana Yogini.
And now the moment we've been waiting for is here.
Ringleader of Club Thrive and Wellness Pro Academy.
A freedom warrior, earth mother, proud mama, devoted wife.
Not your grandmother's Ayurveda.
Futurist. Biohacker. Guru and goofball.
Where truth and freedom prevail.
Evolving the ancient into the future.
Welcome to the Thrive with Cate Podcast. Made for you by us.
This is Cate, and I'm going to ramble. I'm going to not say so. That's my aim. That's my filler word. So this morning I was getting out of the shower and I was doing this happy dance because I had listened to how Tucker Carlson is like taking out Mike Pence with the whole thing with the Ukraine and the tanks and it's Pence not owning up to care about American cities. And it was just like this beautiful moment of if we look at divine masculine, divine feminine, and divine feminine is flow, but it's also chaos, right? Raw energy. And then the masculine puts structure around that raw energy and so that it can be directed. So that's how you uphold ethos. And it was so cool to feel into the masculine, the divine masculine rise against legacy media and all the bullshit and the terms of socialism from legacy media and how bizarre that is coming from like a capitalistic society. It's wild. Right now, I keep landing on like right now it is the Wild West. It is. I live in the Wild West, like literally. Like I just bought another property in Montana. And I live in Wyoming and Montana, and I have since I became an adult. I became an adult out here because it was better than anything else I found. And I was a global traveler. I had spent some time, 6 months in Asia, mostly in China, mostly in Beijing. Just, I've had wild experiences, India, and South America, Europe, etc. So there's this return, and the pendulum always swings, right? Spiral always dives back to the other side. Growth path, depth path, root to rise. The yogis called it spanda, like spandex, literally word. You're seeing it in the biohackers. You're seeing it in cryotherapy. You're seeing it in all the adversity habits. All of the adversity habits, including, this is what I write about Primal Habits, including commune. So when you have the masculine and commune, you have a posse, you have a pack, you have a think tank. And if the posse has purpose, and the purpose is aligned to the divine, then the sky is the limit, or beyond, and that's Elon's point. This is therapeutic, so if anyone doesn't have someone to ramble to, like I'm rambling to you, then start voice recording it. There's good research on it, actually. There's full community, there's full spiritual community, and their practice is to voice record and to listen back. Every podcaster knows that they love the sound of their own voice like narcissists, or they hate the sound of their own voice. Echo is somewhere in between, right? The myth of echo. The myth of echo. Echo is a nymph, forest-dwelling nymph. Yeah. She used to do one of the gods, and then whatever, they basically trapped her in a canyon, so she could be like echo. Kind of wild. It's a little bit, there's a little misogyny in Echo story. But then you gotta look for the opposite too. You gotta be like, well, where? But often misunderstood about the goddess role in mythology. Just you look at it through feature culture, it is different than if you look at it through to define goddess culture. So then the Echo is like power. She was herself. She really stood for something, and because of that, she owns the territory. She owns the territory of the canyon. So where the house is in Montana, the new lake house, it's going to be a retreat center, like very small, like micro, tiny, nano. It's going to be for nano breakthrough experiences. So people will be able to offer their one-on-ones there who want to go deep with a client. 7 days. The host has to buffer their 7 days. So the first and last day for them has to be like solo. You get centered and delete because the energy in this place is going to build and build and build and build. There's only 24 slots a year because I get it half the time. So how's it going to work? Well, you can just message Cate at clubtribe.global. Yeah, go Club Tribe Properties. So we speak, right? We speak into reality. We really define our own reality by speech. Like this, you keep hearing it. I know you do. First there was the word was God. Right? Like it's everywhere. So where does the inspiration come from? And that's you hug your midline around. You know, it's like, okay, well that's a mystery. Yep. That's Elon's point. Like get AI to work on the mystery. Because like the mystery is pro-human. Right? Like, oh my God. Then there's like the men with yachts. You know, it's like, what's the difference between Elon and Bezos? Oh, Bezos is so insecure that he like puts penis in the water. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on Bill Gates. I was cursing. I was sending Bill Gates to one of Dante's circles this morning in front of my sweet 16-year-old girl to let her know what not the divine masculine, so what's masquerading as just the dying corpse of greed. Misinformed greed, just no access to the divine feminine. The masculine turns into disfigured, ethically disfigured. Ugh! Just want to like puke it out and like go let it sequester somewhere that I don't have to deal with and let it pass, like pray to the gods for the half-life to go quickly so that energetically could get absorbed into like what not to do. Boys, right? Oh, boys. Are there boys anymore? I don't know if there's boys anymore. Yeah, that's pretty cute. So, biological doctor trying to take you out of soul to the tip is trying to teach that sort of thing. So I watched that too this morning. I watched a lot of Ben Shapiro. Ben, I'm on your side. Yeah, totally. I feel like you could reach more people if you had one more dimension, like your few dimensions in there. That I think like the growing edge, and it's gonna be cool because you'll do it because you want the message to get through. And amen to that. My God, it's gorgeous. I'm driving north out of the valley at Teton Valley, and the big cul-de-sac shiny. The America's West. Plenty of land. Plenty of resources in the American West. I'm excited to see what happens in the American West. I'm selling the Dodge Brothers building right now in here. I in my soul believe it's a Club Tribe property. I'll post it at clubtribe.global on the blog. It'll say Dodge Brothers building deep Montana for sale. So downstairs right now is a popular wine bar, which we put a kitchen in for, so it can do like light food. And then there's cookie trucks. It used to be the Dodge Brothers. If you don't know the story of Dodge Brothers, Horace and John, great. The story. So Horace, I did a show. Did you catch that? I mean, father of Horace, John, was a machinist. I don't know if I'm guessing he was good, but like not good with money or something, because they were broke. I mean, and it was the time. They were broke, like not enough food. So they wouldn't tell their mom they were starving. They didn't want to burden the family. That's Horace and John. They understand poverty and starvation. And Bashir. So they build the bicycle bearing, which becomes so bicycle enthusiasts out there, which if you are, I get it. Did Albert Einstein say I thought of that while I was riding my bicycle? Yeah, he said it. Exactly. The ball bearings, they figured out they patented in 1893. They start producing a ton of bike factories, so then they get factories and they understand finance. John does finance. I believe I have this right off. I might have it wrong. Words might be finance. John does machinery. Insane machinery, like the best technology. How do you move? How do you transport? So anyone in the transport industry, any kind in the vehicle industry, any kind of vehicle industry, this building is in Montana, and 20,000 square feet. The first few floors were where Dodge had the 1914. They opened it was already a car dealership. It was still there for a car dealership. Enough, 1912. Right? So who do you think is going to be in 1912? Well, it turns out that Boris and John owned 10% of Ford. And the reason they owned 10% of Ford, which they bought for $10,000 US in 1903 money. So what do? Well, Ford needs people who know how to make stuff, make cheese, like make in mass production, who understand manufacturing, because they also understood finance, because they'd already financed their own thing. They already understood how the whole business works, and ever are. So they make most of what goes into the Model E. Then, I think that was killer. That should have been a pause. So imagine this. It's 1912. You've been manufacturing for Ford, and you're in charge of the business division. That will be John's job, John Dodge. Meanwhile, the Dodge brothers are still developing their own stuff. Like they developed their first Ford. So they're just developing. They're developing better engines. Ford won't adopt better engines because assembly line setup as it is, something like that. So the Dodge brothers, who are a rough and rowdy redhead duo, they're like, fuck, we gotta make better cars. Yeah, thank you, Elon. Right? We gotta make better cars. Do that. Instead of making more of the stuff we made yesterday. So they, 2014, produced their first car. I think, I don't remember what it was, 150. And it's got, I believe, more horsepower. Then I started closing cars. Right, first closed car, that goes to the Dodge brothers. They were innovating way faster than Ford. They're $10,000. By the time they left in 2012, they were worth $50 million. Like, they had cash. One point, they bought the Detroit Sensei. Like, the Detroit, they didn't give a fuck, rebel. And they'd hang out with their machinists. They were rowdy. They would drink. And they were not high society. They were richer than everybody else, except Ford and a few others. But in Detroit, they can do whatever they want. So they got like kicked out of the Detroit Sensei or something like that, reprimanded. So they got it. That is fuck you funny. Shout out to Layla Herbosi. God, we're all in love with the girl. You know? I think if you start doing your feminine journey work, like inner feminine, like fuck the outside, go deep inside, like that, you'll speak our language. Yeah. We're trying to learn here, is it super helpful? Super helpful. Yeah, I like Alex. I like that and $100 million offers. I like that help well relationship. Like just feel the hurt. Like feel where people are hurting. Hurting financially, that sucks. You have to go back and go forward. Yeah, shout out to Ben Hardy and Dan Sullivan, particularly Dan for the idea, and back for the idea. Do we see these duos? We see these pairs, and those who don't have a pair, that's a relationship, and I feel your pain. I mean, there's an incredible pair, my husband. But in business, you have a pair in business. It's different than if you don't. My husband and I, we have 3 companies, one together, and each one of us has one, which is a lot of things to do. It's a lot. And what's so fascinating is, like, he's not a pair for me for 12-5 Global. I mean, he is good for properties. He is good for the properties. But that's in terms of the intellectual property. And so for that, like, finding dynamic duo, that to me is why the Dodge brothers building is that's what it needs. That's what it needs as well. This is uptown. Those of you who've never been to Uptown Theater, you haven't watched? Yeah, it's a insanely unique city. insanely amazing. Northern industrial mining town had 100,000 people in 1910. 2024 has 30,000 people, but has the infrastructure. Our officers that and the infrastructure. So then one of the places you go and you don't like feel bad at dating. You know, a lot of places I bought property, you feel bad. You're like, I feel like we're not here. Not you. They're like the more the barrier. We have tons of room and large open fine. Huge super fun site. Active mine. The mining college there, and they're working on their you guessed it, automotive program. I just feel like all the energies are converging. Things are happening so fast. Like we record 1 minute and it's on the internet the next minute. Like a lot of us are living that way. And it's creating a maelstrom of truth. Of it's all the bullshit. But it's always that way. It's always hate bloody. We always have to expect beauty is repetition instead of yeah, no, you're not. That 80% is bullshit. That's always how it is the next level. I have images of it in my book that I wrote in like 2020 last review. I mean, I really didn't see it in the point yet. I think I need to release the original like living. I think I have to get to find that file. So, okay. What am I doing with that is a good concept. Nah. Like not having cancer, not writing a book opens portals inside. World, universe. Right? I'm my own boss. I'm completely individual. 24/7, 365 is exactly what's on my calendar. Exhale. That's the first second chakra. Exhale, and you have your time back. Without time back, first chakra, you don't get rooted. The root of the shikta. Right? It's like your bottom tip. That's your magic wand. The chin, your magic wand, like the other tip of the tail. The anus. People don't like anus. Don't like that word. Don't like the word anus. Look, they don't. They won't even lick their butthole. Look, none of you do it. I've seen it happen. Microbiome 101 right there. And that could be endless for tonight. We may have seen this before. What? Steak eating is hell. I wonder if that's like the catechist of Julie the 69, you know? But they're just like being repeat, but they put both the heads above self. Both the tails below self. But that's like, that is also true. I mean, that's the thing with chakras. Putting into the, you know, that's the Ida and the Pingala, right? The catechist is the Ida and the Pingala. You guys do that, right? And I don't even know what you don't know. Like, I don't know where you're listening and you're like, Zoom's like zoned out. Like, you don't even hear. And then you're like, oh, she got interesting again. Like, so I went like, I don't fucking know. What am I doing driving? I'm driving. Where am I now? Oh my god, I just wet. There's the canyon on the, actually a hot spring right on the left. On the right, mosquito field, but like the stretch up to the next mountain range. Side like a whole site shaded as snow is white, the little golden and video, blue sky, white clouds, the layer. How many other people on the road? Right now, I don't see anybody. Yeah, it's a little different than where I grew up in Massachusetts. Here on the log for cars. Yep, here comes rain. FedEx truck. Brady, your feet. I feel like that's been it. I feel like it's been a huge plus. I feel like the teenagers. But shout out to the teens and the young adults right now. The upcyclers. The upcycling generation. Because it's like the most materialist. I heard Mr. Beast talk about it. I'm like, oh, you got courage, though. Why didn't you buy a mansion? And like, we're going to take a car like all the other boys do. And he's like, that's lame. Shout out Mr. Beast. Your Beast isn't making that hit list. So important to be aware of where someone is exhibiting divine masculine and someone is exhibiting divine feminine, and feel it, name it. And now we're back to that for third word. You have to name the ethos of the culture And then the masculine upholds that. And then the feminine throws all sorts of like shit at it, being like, really? What about this? And what about this? What about this? What about this? Came to change it, redid that. Like, so Ben Hardy's 10x rap transformation challenge. He's like, I was a winner. Chicken dinner. Top 20. I got top 20. That's not bad. You know, I'm bad. I was in top 5. Well, and I got a little checked out. I was like trying to deal with. I thought I asked her when I was talking to him, and I'm sure I had. I was pretty fucked up. And then I was releasing, which he has a journal, and I was buying this house. Well, so as soon as the challenge started, like 4 days into the challenge, I see a house I want to buy it. And I like literally break the bank. Yeah, fun. So Ben's super clear on the 80-20 individual kind of book. We're all reading. I feel like we're all putting on a book club. And that's the latest. And I'm during sex, constantly around and around and around and around. It creates a vortex energy that's up the chakra. And we start organizing chaos. Like, so it's created your best offer ever. This is the Wellness Pros. The one thing that drives me crazy about Wellness Pros, and I love them, and I am one of you, but it's like you don't have an offer. It's really hard to extract your value. So packaging your best offer ever is good for you. It's good for you. If it's structured, and like masculine, it's good for you because we're divine feminine, like you're connecting into the whole, and how you channel that into another person's body and it heals them. That's important. We need that. So it's like getting into an offer. So we do that with you. So it's harder. I guess it's hard with you than for others. And it used to be hard for Wellness Pros. So if you guys like just now, I just got to chalk it up to like cultural chronic inflammation. This is, if you start to see dizzy, is chronic inflammation. That's what's the new chronic inflammation. And dizzy is the new black. Who else? Black. But anybody with time, let's fly with their money. Health, wealth, finance. Health, wealth, money. Talking about money. Money is fluid. Currency, that's a con. Times change. I don't know, any voters out there? I have a mini voter. I have a mini voter and a maxi voter. I lived in an India voter. Big kayak, big whitewater kayak. So I live with voters. There's actually instances made of clay kayaker. I think. I feel like I'm tuning a little bit into current currency. Half flowing to release. You're not really, you don't access the flow. At every surfer. So, again, exhale, because you're tight upon a all of the crown, that's the release. Then you release all the way to your second and first chakra. Alright? You're in the thing. The other mouth. Don't flip off the other mouth. Second mouth. Heard that one? There's your upper mouth and your lower mouth. And a mouthpiece. And then you really get the track. Oh, it is the thing. We prick a worm or snake. You're right, I gotta slow it down. Heading into Teton. So our indigo grandfather was born here on her Mormon side. We're in Mormon country now. We are now less than small country now. We have their say. That's why I may tell him say. Uncle Margaret's very great over there. Yeah, no worries. Roman. So it's my best offer ever. I never thought you would have. It's Club Hero. Club Hero. What plus Hero? It's all women, which is funny. None are allowed. No one's there right now. No men right there. We're intimidating, I guess. It's a lot of business. Girls who know business like to talk business. That's all I can say. Right? And then it's everything. It's everything. So business is dharma. Right? So dharma and where dharma intersects capitalism is business. I know a lot of your hair kind of crazy. Yeah, I get but whatever. Ignore me right now. Shout. You don't have to, you don't. Girls like to talk business and they like to have positive change. Like they're very, they drive the health and wellness industry, period. Like always have. So why don't we pay attention to that? It's not sexist. Just look closely for the children. I know. So you don't think there's boys and girls and men and women, just babies. Sword blades come from a man and a woman making a baby. And then the mother's body feeds the baby. So, take that away in any shape or form. And I mean any way, shape, or form. You get trauma. You get PTSD. The obvious trauma. But Dr. Spock had popularized this on attachment parenting method that anyone born in, I don't know, I mean, started in some certain circles like 50s, 60s. I mean, 70 days, do it. Do it fine job. Like, you let your baby cry it out. Train the baby. Toughen the baby up. You know what you end up with? Dysfunctional adults who don't have a grounded first and second chakra or out-of-sync time are busy towards an end that they don't even want. But it takes some on to realize that there's chronic inflammation in our culture. So our food, we poison our food. We poison our genes. Our poor babies. Oh. So if we try to act like adults, and clean it up, we can do that really quickly. Like, we've AI now. Thank you, guys and gals. Right? Thank you. Thank you for making things that now bring, I mean, when it has, like, not only the bright green movement, which was like the high-tech steel movement, how did that get launched forward in this fun? How did that get focused on the wrong thing? Focus on green technology, everyone. It's so easy. It's right there. Right there. And it all goes down to the microbiome. Everything's a microbiome. Microbiome AI. And then see what out there. Okay? That's my example. Yeah. Subscribe, a hero, best offer ever. That's that wellness program. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I was doing 25 to 36. I'm getting that. Building good numbers and details. People are personal. Who love coming in. And they all love each other.